beautiful people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing y'all step by step how I make my waffle hat beanie. Okay, so the hook I'll be using is a 5. Let's see if I can get it in the camera for you. Can you see it? A 5 mm, and just some random yarn that I got from somebody when they wanted me to make them something. I do not know where, I don't know the brand, but I do know they got it from Hobby Lobby. So yes. So hook, yarn. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is make our chain, all right? So depending on your head size and how you want your hat to fit will determine how many chains you will make, okay? So I know for mine, I did 68 with my first hat, and this time I believe I'm going to do 70. So I'm going to chain up 70, and then I'm going to wrap it around my head to see if it's the fit that I want, and then we'll go from there. All right, just a friendly reminder, I am left-handed, so if you're right-handed, whatever I do with my left hand, which holds my hook, you're going to do it with your right, and I hold my yarn with my right hand. So whatever I do with my right hand, you're going to do with your left. All right, so let's start. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our slip knot. Okay, so if you don't know how to make your slip knot, what you do is you take your yarn and you sit the end piece like this, okay? And then you wrap it like this, all right? And then you come back across and you want to make an X like that, okay? So after you do that, you can take your yarn on your hook and pull it and then tighten it, all right? So maybe that's too hard or anything like that. So if that's too hard, you can easily just use your hand and do the same thing. Lift this one up a little bit and just pull that in and pull your strings. All right, get your hook and place it back onto get your yarn and place it back onto your hook. All right, so next we're going to do is make our chain. All right, so again, I'm making a chain of 70. You have to figure out what size works for you. Okay, so when you get to 50, try to wrap it around your head to see if it fits, and just keep chaining until it's at the fit that you want. Okay, so I'm gonna do 70. As long as you stop at an even number, you should be okay. All right, so first we're going to make our first chain. All right, so I'm going to grab my yarn. I make sure that this is loose enough, as you can see, so I can slip my hook through it. All right, so I grab my yarn and I pull it through. That's 1. I grab my yarn and I pull it through. That's 2. All right, so now I'm going to make 70, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I'm going to finish this up and make 60 more. You meet me back when you have done your chain and it's where you want it to be. All right. Okay, so I am back and I have chained my 70, all right? And this is how it looks, all right? So what we're going to do next, we want to go ahead and connect these ends so we won't have to do it later, all right? So the way I connect my ends, you want the back side, which has the bumps, in the inside, and you want this to be in the outside, okay? So you just want to make sure the bumps are facing upwards until you get to the end of your project. All right, and just go ahead and slip stitch into that first. All right, you go into that first one with your hook, you yarn over, and you want to pull through both of those loops like that. All right, and then we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2. All right, so next what we're going to do a row of double crochets. All right, so with your hat facing you like this, all right, we're going to go this way. All right, so yarn over to start your double crochet. And we're going to go into this stitch right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. All right. So yarn over again, go into the next stitch, yarn over, and then we're going to pull through 2, yarn over, and we're going to pull through 2. All right. So we're going to repeat this all the way down, 1 double crochet into each stitch until we get to the end of this row, which will be right here. All right. And I'll meet you back when I am finished. Okay, so I have did my last double crochet. Now into that first double crochet right here, we're going to do our slip stitch to join this row together, and then we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to flip our work. All right. Okay, so we flipped our work. Now we're going to do, for the second row, we're going to do front and back post double crochet. All right. So if you're not familiar with front post or back post double crochet, we're basically going to be doing, instead of working into the stitches, we're going to be working behind these right here. Okay, we're going to be working into these spaces right here. All right, so we're going to be putting double crochets in. All right, so I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go into this hole right here, and I'm going to push this double crochet upwards. So this is like a post, so we're going and we're pushing it to the front. That's why it's called a front post double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, like that. All right, and that's a front post double crochet. All right, so yarn over, we're going to make a back post double crochet. So we're literally going through the back. All right, so we went through the front, you go through the back with your hook, and you come through that hole, and you go through the other side. Okay, so like this, we go through the hole, and we're going to this is the next pole, the next post that was next to that front, that other double crochet we just did. We're going to grab our yarn and pull it through that hole, both of those holes, and then we're going to make our double crochet. All right, let's do it again. Front post, we go this way, so through the hole, lift it up, go through this part right here. Okay, and it's same thing through the back, you just do it through the back. All right, so yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, so the back post, remember we're going through these 2 holes. All right, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, and that's how you make a front post and a back post double crochet. All right, so this is what's going to be this row. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish mine's. You go ahead and you finish yours, and meet me back when you are finished. Okay, so this is how it looks. I started with a front post double crochet, and I ended with a front post double crochet. All right, depending on how many chains you use, let's say if you use a negative number, you might end with a back post double crochet. All right, so next what we're going to do is, you see right here where we put that chain, we're going to go into that the second chain that we did, and we're going to slip stitch this close. All right, and we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to flip. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to find that front post double crochet that we did before, and we're going to start with that stitch and put a double crochet. All right, and then into the stitch next to it, we're going to put a double crochet, and into the next stitch, we're going to put a double crochet. All right, and we're just going to do this all the way around until we get back to the end. All right, and when I'm done, I will meet you back. All right, and this is how it looks. I am finished with my row of double crochets, and we're going to slip stitch into the second chain of the chain 2 that we did to start the row. We're going to slip stitch into that to close off the row. All right, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to flip. All right, okay, so this is how it looks. Okay, so and we're going to be doing side stitch and front post double crochets. Okay, so for this first stitch, all right, so not where we did that not where we did the chain space, so you want to skip this one, skip this part, and into this one we're going to go into the side stitch with a double crochet. All right, and next we're going to do a front post double crochet. All right, so we're going to go around this stitch. All right, so yarn over, go around, yarn over again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, just like that. So into the next 2 stitches, we're going to go into the sides. All right, so before you do that, you want to make sure that you're not going into the stitch when you do it. You're not going into the stitch that the front post is in. All right, so how you do that, you just can look around to make sure the stitch your front post double crochet is in front of that stitch, and then you go into the next 2. All right, so here are the next 2 stitches. So we're going to go into the side stitch and put 2 double crochets like that. All right, so next we're going to do a front post double crochet. All right, and then next we're going to do 2 side stitch double crochets. All right, and then after that we're going to do another front post double crochet. All right, and we're just going to repeat this all the way around until we get to the end. All right, so next, making sure that it's in front of a stitch, into the next 2 side stitches, we're going to do double crochets. All right, and after I finish, I'll meet you back at the end. All right. Okay, so we are at the end, and the last one before the last stitch I did was a front post double crochet, and in the last stitch we're going to put a regular side stitch double crochet. All right, okay, so next what we're going to do, we're going to slip stitch to end into that chain 2 spot. All right, we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, and we're going to flip. All right, so this is how it looks so far. All right, so we have did, I believe, 4 rows so far, and you can kind of see where it's starting to look like a waffle. All right, so for row 5, all right, in the first 2 stitches, this one and this one, we're going to put side stitches. All right, 2 double crochets. That's 1 double crochet, and into this next stitch is the second. All right, so those are 2 side stitch. All right, so if you look for this row, if you look, these next 2 are the ones where we did the side stitches for the last row, and for those next two we're going to actually turn those into front post double crochets. All right, so we're going to go behind and make it. That's the first, and then into the second one. All right, so 2 front post double crochets. All right, so into the next one, and this stitch was where we did the front post of the last row. All right, we're going to do a side stitch, 1 side stitch. All right, the next 2 are front posts. Okay, and the next one is going to be a side post. All right, so if you look, this is how it looks on that side. All right, so we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So we just did a side post, so the next 2 are going to be front posts. Then the next one is going to be a side post. And remember, if you want to remember if what you do next, the last row that you did, the last 2 that we did, and because we did these 2 with front posts, and the last row, the 2 that we turned into 2 front posts, they was the side stitches, and the 1 front post that we did the last row will be a side stitch. All right, hope that isn't confusing. All right, so I just did another side stitch because I just did 2 front post double crochet. Okay, so next it's going to be 2 front post double crochets and then 1 side stitch. All right, so you go ahead and you do this: 2 front posts, 1 side stitch, 2 front posts, 1 side stitch. All right, and when I'm finished I will meet you back. So I'm at the last 2 stitches of this 5th row. All right, so the last 2 right here was front post double crochet, and we're going to end this row with 2 side stitch double crochets. All right, just like we started. All right, so then we're going to slip stitch into the chain space. All right, and then we're going to chain 2 and flip. Okay, so this is how it looks. So far you can kind of see the waffle of it starting to form. Okay, so for the next 10 rows, all right, we already did 5 rows. We're going to do 10 more. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to alternate between the 4th row and the 5th row. All right, so the next row is going to be 2 we're going to do 2 into the side stitch and 1 into 1 front post double crochet. So 2 side stitches, 1 front post, and then the next row after that will be 2 front posts and then 1 side stitch. Okay, so just to show you how I start the row. All right, so to start this 6th row off, right, we're going to go into this stitch right here with us. This stitch right here, we're going to do a side double stitch, a side stitch double crochet. All right, so into the next stitch we're going to put a front post double crochet. All right, because as you can see, it's a front post. So every time, the next 2 are going to be side posts. As you can see, it's right there on the side, and then the next one is going to be a front. Then the next 2 are going to be side stitch double crochets, and then the next one is going to be a front post double crochet. All right, so if you look at the row that you just completed, everything should line up. Your front posts should be lined up with each other, and your side posts should be lined up with each other. Just in case you get lost on the way and you don't know what you're supposed to do for that row, just follow the pattern that you already did. All right. So in the next two, we're going to put side stitch. We're going to go into the side stitch and put 2 double crochets, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet. All right, and then the next 2 stitches we're going to do a two side stitch double crochets. Okay, like that. All right, so this is row number 6. So when you come back, you should have completed you should have 15 rows altogether. So we're going to do 10 more rows because we already did 5. All right, remember, you have to finish the row how you started the row. So if you're on the row where you start with 1 side stitch and then the next a front post, you have to end it like that. And if you have any trouble with remembering how to start or finish it, just look back to row 4 and 5 to see how we're doing. Okay, so again, this row right here, we're doing number 6 is 1 front post double crochet, and then the next 2 after that should be 2 side stitch double crochet, and then the next row after that, which will be the repeat of number 5, the 5th row we just finished doing, it should be 1 side stitch and then 2 front post double crochet. All right, hopefully that's not confusing, and remember, if you're confused, just follow the stitching of your hat. All right, so I'll meet you back when I am done with row 15 to check in. All right, okay, so we are back, and this is how it's looking so far. All right, you should have 15 rows, and you should have ended on the row where the next row should be when you do the inside of it, the 2 front post double crochet. The front post double crochets, that should be the next row that you do. So you did this row, basically your 15th row. All right, so this is how it looks. Here goes the back. I use a stitch marker to just mark which the last row I had did before in the last part of the video. Okay, so we got our 15 rows done. Now we're going to start closing our hats. Okay, so in order to close this and make the top of it start going in, we're going to start kind of combining, or you can call it decreasing your rows. Okay, so I already closed this my 15th row, and I'm working on 16, and I already have my chain 2. All right, so I'm going to flip. Okay, and your view should be like the inside right here. Okay, so how we're going to decrease is we're going to yarn over, go into this stitch, pull up a loop. All right, then go into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and in the we're going to pull through with that last loop that you did. You're going to pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, just like that. So again, we're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then we're going to pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we're going to do a row of that all the way around until we get to the end, and I'll meet you back when I am finished. Okay, so we have finished our row of decreases. Now we're going to do a row of double crochet. Okay, so in the first stitch we're going to put 1 double crochet, then into the next stitch we're going to put a double crochet, into the next stitch we're going to put a double crochet, and into the next stitch we're going to put another double crochet, and we're going to repeat this all the way around until we get to the end, and I'll meet you back when I am finished. All right, so we are done with our row of double crochets, and I just want to show you how it's looking. As you can see, it's starting to close up. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to do another row of decreases. The first 2 stitches is where we're going to do our decrease. So we're going to go in there, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop, and pull through 2, yarn over, and then pull through 2. Okay, and then the next one we're going to put in a double crochet. All right, and then the next one will be a decrease. All right, and then the next one will be a double crochet, and then the next one will be a decrease, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around until we get to the end, and I will meet you back when I am finished. Okay, so we are back and I am done with that row. So the next 2 rows are going to be decreases. All right, so we're going to go yarn over, go into the stitch, go into this one, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to repeat this for 2 rows. Okay, and meet me back when you are finished. So I am back and I am done with those 2 rows. If you got to the end and you had like 1 space left, you could always put a single double crochet in that one. If you needed to. I know I did that for not the last row I did, but the one before that, that we were doing before we came back. I had to finish that one with 1 single double crochet. All right, but this is how it looks. This is the front. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch. All right, and then we're going to cut this right here, and I do mine's a little, I want to make it, I probably cut, all right, so it's pretty long. Now what we want to do, you want to take this and pull it through and tighten. All right, and I'll show you how big my hole is. Like it's not that much left to close. All right, we're not going to close it out, so we're going to drop, if you can see where. Okay, so here's the hole where my finger's at. We're going to drop our needle through there, and we're going to turn our hat inside out. Okay, all right, so I hold it like this, and I just take it and just go through the stitch like this and just close it up. I'm not really following anything. I'm just put my finger through it so I can make sure the whole part is closed, and I take it through a couple of times. All right. Okay. So then I cut it down. Usually, depending on what I'm using, I don't cut it. I use my thread burner to do it. So just to make sure it closes all the way. So I take my thread burner, take that excess off, and then tap it a little bit to make sure it's good. Okay, like that. So that's how I make my waffle stitch beanie. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments how it turns out for you, or if you have any questions, okay? And if you want to, I know the original one, it had the little fuzzy ball up there. You can go on Amazon or whatever to buy this. This is where I got this from. But I also wanted to show y'all how it looks without it, because I know a lot of people seen the black one I posted on TikTok. So yeah, this is how it came out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, until the next video,